Let's turn this bag of scrap hardware and this piece of scrap leather into a simple keychain addition like this. First, we're going to identify a piece out of this bag that we're going to use as the hardware for this piece. Alright, so with the few pieces of hardware out of the bag, we're going to go ahead and try to find the one that best fits this piece. Alright, I think we have a winner. After identifying your hardware, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this piece of leather and just try to find out how actually straight these edges are and see how much trim work we're going to have to do. As you can see, that edge right there is a little bit gravelly, so we're going to have to square it off at least a little bit. In order to do that, I'm going to be using my simple razor knife, fresh blade on it as always. I'm just going to kind of try to square up these edges, get everything looking a little more even. So now that I got those edges nice and crispy, I'm going to go ahead and glue. I know our edges right here aren't the best, but I feel like that'll be best taken care of with some sandpaper. We're not going to worry about that right now. Alright, so to apply this glue, we're going to go ahead and try to find the middle of this piece as best we can by simply inserting our hardware the way that I want it. Meeting those edges together just like that. Might not be perfect, we might got to do a little trimmage on it. Press it down, try to find it where it's not too, this piece isn't too loose. Then lay it down and take this piece, move it like that, and now you know right where your center is. So we're just going to keep the glue over here and put it down, apply some pressure. The biggest thing we're trying to accomplish by putting this glue on there is to just hold the piece in place while we use the pricking irons to put holes through the leather so we can get a nice clean stitch. Alright, so now with that on there, we're going to go ahead and meet those two ends. Gonna give it a nice firm press down for about 20 seconds. We're gonna release some of that pressure, remove the piece from all the glue, set my old glove down as a base, and apply just a little bit of pressure. Alright, so now that's been about 2 minutes. We're gonna remove that container. And as you can see, it's maintained its shape quite well. We're gonna bust out the block and see if we can't prick some holes through this thing. So before we actually move on to the block, I'm gonna use these wing dividers and just put a simple line around the edge in order to get a good spot for the pricking irons to be able to set in, just so we get nice, clean, straight stitch lines. So using the wing dividers, we're gonna put one end off of the piece, one end on the piece, and just slide them back this way. Repeat the process. Alright, so now with the lines drawn, now we can move over to the stone, start pricking them lines, and get onto the stitching. Now I know this might seem a little unconventional, but it's the best method that works for me. I just take the block, set it right on my lap, and actually do my pricking just right here. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and grab our pricking irons, see which way that we want them. We're going to try to start in this corner right here and just start to pricking. Now I know I'm using the complete wrong hammer. I'm using my framing hammer, but my rubber mallet's at my buddy's house right now, so this one's just gonna have to do. Nice, went all the way through. Alright, well now all the holes pricked in there, we're going to put this away. We're going to get this set up in the vise and start stitching. So today I've actually got some nice dark brown wax thread that we're going to be using today. So now that I got both the needles all threaded up, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're just going to do a simple saddle stitch today. Alright, so now that we got it all stitched up, we're going to go ahead and cut these edges and burn them in. Alright, so now that we got all done with the stitching itself doesn't look bad. I think I pulled it too hard in a couple places, which started to give it too much pressure on one side and actually developed a curve. That's okay. So next we're going to do is try to hit this edge with some sandpaper, get it all smoothed out as best as we can. And then we're going to go ahead and hit some Tokonol on it and see if we can't burnish the edges just a tad. Alright, so after I go back and forth a couple times, I just go in one direction. Alright, so now that it's all sanded down and everything, I'm going to clip some of this really big stuff on the edges, use my lighter to burn some of that stuff in, and then we'll hit it with some Tokonol. Alright, so now, got a product called Tokonol. And we just take a little bit of that, just glob it right along our edges right there. And then we're going to take our burnishing tool right here, find the right size, and just you go back and forth, trying to generate some friction to lay those hairs down. And as you can see, that edge looks a lot better now that it's burnished. Alright, and that's how you make a simple little leather keychain piece. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like down below. Comment what you'd like to see me make next. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Appreciate every one of you guys, and I'll see you in the next one, and have a blessed day.